BIBD, thanks for this gift of Marriage 101 today. I mean, this is really value added today. Thank you, guys. Questions from the floor? Yes, Fina.
Hi, Vivy, Jenny, and Fadza. I'm Fina, so I work in finance during the day. But outside of work, I blog, and I'm currently going to do a pop-up store, which curates designs and labels from Malaysia and from Brunei as well. So I've read in a few articles that you plan to expand to Brunei, and obviously we've seen that in terms of the pop-up store for Raya, which happened last year and this year. However, do you plan on doing a permanent brick and mortar store over here? And if so, what are the competitive advantages and the challenges you see in doing a store in Brunei?
I guess the short answer is we have no plans at the moment. Our business is mainly online, and so that's where we see being able to promote these brands the best. And so we want to take on more and more Brunei designers, but there's always the challenge of logistics. One of the things for Fashion Valet is we curate the quality, and we want to make sure that customers get their products as fast as possible. So when we had like our learnings from Indonesia, where if a customer bought an item from Indonesia, they would have to wait 7 to 10 days to receive the item. Eventually, we thought that's a really bad deal for the customer, and it's not what they would expect. So we decided to shut that down. So if we were to take on more Brunei designers, we definitely want to be able to keep hold of the stock and hold it in our warehouse and then ship it out directly from our warehouse, because we know that's the fastest way, and that's the way that we control quality. So yeah, so in short, no plans at the moment. You have anything to add? I think you know, right?
No,
yeah, she has nothing to add.
I agree.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We'll come back to Jira, and then we'll go back to you. Okay, so... Oh, it's right next to you.
So hi, I'm Jira. I'm a blogger too, but I run a fashion media house, which we worked with Fashion Valet before for the Chinese New Year campaign. So you mentioned as a startup that you invested some money to yourselves, but when do Fashion Valet actually become profitable? Because I'm sure there's a lot of capital being put into it. And actually, the second question is, what are some of the challenges when trying to break into a new market? Example, like Japan, or not Japan, Indonesia, or I know you're trying to tap into Thailand. So, all right, thank you.
I think it's about managing your cash flow. So I think one of the, just to sidestep a little bit, it's Vivy and I in the early years, we constantly asked ourselves, how big can this business be? Is it really worth it to continue on with this business if it's at this stage? Because we were extremely ambitious, and we wanted the company to be valued at hundreds of millions, and we wanted to take home those millions. And so we would always ask ourselves, is this really as far as it can go? How can we further grow the business? I think those are the more important questions when you're a startup. And for you to be able, and if you're not profitable at that point, it's for you to be able to translate that vision and that ambition to potential investors. So if you want to grow that business using investors' money, you need to be able to show them your passion and show them the vision and show them that you're the person that's going to take that company to that vision. And then to the second question of what are the challenges for breaking into new market, culture is the most hardest thing, right? And the way people do business in different countries. As much as people talk about Southeast Asia being a great market of 600 million people, it's extremely fragmented in the sense that every country has very different cultures. You know, we speak so many different languages in Southeast Asia. You know, you can't just walk into Thailand and go into any store and start speaking to that person, because that person doesn't really speak English, doesn't speak Malay, they only speak Thai. Same thing goes to Indonesia. You think that, you know, just because you speak Malay, you can talk to them as well. Then the moment they start replying you, you're like, oh, I didn't get anything she said. You know, so understanding the cultural norms in different countries was a big challenge for us. The way they did business was very different. In Indonesia, we realized that people like to bring friends to business meetings, and we thought that that was so weird, and we weren't comfortable at all. So it took us like quite a number of years for us to get used to all of that, and then finally, I think it's important for you to win your local market first, because you should know your local market best first, and then after that, it's a very different business to manage when you're managing a local business which is still growing and thriving, and then trying to expand into another country at the same time. And so you have all these growing pains. At some point, you have to decide, you know, is this a distraction? Can I make, if I were to invest, you know, $1 million into my local market, can I grow it a lot more than what I can grow the overseas market in the new market? So, you know, these are decisions that you have to make on the go. And I think one of the things that helps Vivy and I is having great mentors. So we look to, like, you know, people who have successful businesses, our parents, and we always tell them all these problems. And yeah, and I think, you know, that's definitely one of the things, and which I think BIBD is also pushing, you know, mentorship. I think that's extremely important. So the road of entrepreneurship is so lonely that if you don't have a partner, I mean, let alone that you do have a partner, and then both of you are, like, you know, totally lost. But having someone else to talk to who's gone through those problems, I think really helped us in so many situations.
For us, like, as a cultural norm, I completely agree, because, you know, what we learned a lot in, like, Indonesia, they don't really use credit cards or online banking. They like cash on delivery. You know, so it was so much to learn. Like, our website was in English, so, you know, it worked fine in Brunei, Singapore, you know, other countries, Malaysia. But in Indonesia, it needs to be localized. It needs to be Bahasa Indonesia. So it was a lot to learn. Also, legal. You have to find out, like, whether you can open a company there, or, like, Indonesia is so difficult to break into because of their law as well. Like, it can't be foreign owned. You have to have a local partner. So having someone there to advise you and to share experience with you definitely, you know, helps. For Fashion Valet, Fadza led all the business developments to other countries, and I saw him go through that journey, and even I felt really bad for him, because there were so many mistakes that we were making, and it was literally, you're going to another country and be like, okay, what do I do now? You know, and when he's doing that and putting focus there, our whole business suffers because they need him and he's not there. So you have to also realize you're only one person, and you have limited time and energy to focus. So sometimes focus is good to have, not to do too many things at once yet. What Fadza says is absolutely right. You need to win at something first before you expand. Like, so when you're new, and if you don't have the cash yet, or you don't have a big enough team, I think it's better to focus than trying to expand too fast.
Funnily enough, conquering the local market can be really hard for other locals. I think sometimes, especially in the world of showbiz, you have to leave Brunei, and then Brunei will really love you. If you stay here, have you noticed that though? We need to leave, and then all of a sudden we become a big deal. And then when you, it's the same thing in Malaysia. It's it, you have to leave, and then be a big deal, and then come back. It's a really interesting thing we have going on here.
Like, they need validation that, okay, outside people also recognize you, therefore we also recognize you. Yeah,
But Bruneians love the Malaysians. we have busloads of celebrities coming in every week, especially now for all the expos, and they're all selling their tudung as well. I mean, by the busload, because they're Malaysians, they're not Bruneians. So that's our problem a little bit, I think, sometimes.
That's exactly how we started. In 2010, we wanted to set up a place for local designers. And we have Malaysians who only look at Zara, Topshop, Forever 21, H&M, like, who's the local designer? I also don't know. So I think it's a lot of educating, and it didn't take us a day, like it took us 7 years, and I think there needs to be a lot of educating Bruneians, like, hello, like, you should be supporting local designers, you should be supporting local brands, and you need to have more and more ambassadors championing that, like a lot of bloggers are coming now. You need to talk about your own local products and be proud of it.
Sure, I mean, I have a few thoughts on the whole local issue. I think sometimes we play the local card, we want a bit of charity. Well, local support us. But I think also as a Bruneian market, we're also quite discerning. It's local, it's not good enough. We don't care if you're local or not. And I think we don't tend to use that phrase so much anymore. I think it's becoming dated. Now we just want to be good biased because, hey, we are good, not because we're local. And I would really love to have more of that kind of conversation as well. We really depend on this charity local line. And we're over it, right, Brunei? Yeah. We're over it. It's because we're good.
Yeah. I mean, when we first started Fashion Valet, we wanted to focus on the local market. At the same time, we said, if we had the opportunity, we should take on international brands as well. But then the more and more we ran the business, we saw that the local brands were having growing pains, trying to build their business, trying to make it into a sustainable business. So we said that, okay, we don't want to take international brands anymore. We want to focus on the problem of the local brands. And the problem with the local brands is that when we first started, customers had this perception that if you're local, you had to be either cheap or low quality, right? And people, like you said, people, the moment someone says, I'm a local brand, they expect you to support them, just like as if it's charity. So we started telling brands that, no, we're curating now. We're only taking the best brands. And so if you think that, just because you're local, you can come onto our website and you can showcase 1 or 2 designs and help and make us market you, we're not a charity house. We're a business. You should be a business as well. And so you should focus on building your business. Products and designs aside, you should be focusing on how your business lasts for the next 5 years. Not just because you're local, but because you're a good business.
Yeah, I think that's very important. We have a question over there. Is it Shini or Shini's sister?
It's Shini.
See, I get scared. She's my identical twin. So
She's gone.
Okay, she's gone.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I'm from The Collective. We're a small creative company. I think what I'm curious to know is, was there ever a point at which you guys thought we were just gonna, jump ship and this isn't worth it, or it was too hard, or, sales aren't climbing as high as we thought, or anything like that, and you just felt so discouraged and you wanted to give up? And what really made you turn around and not do that?
Oh, you can.
I think that there were a lot of situations at the start where we almost ran out of money, but at the first few years, we never had the thought of jumping ship, and we never had a backup plan. I think if you have a backup plan, it sort of makes you too comfortable to say that it's all right, I'll just make it up. No, we never had that. But I think today we do question ourselves whether we're the best people to take the company forward, because we want this company to be bigger than just us. Fashion Valet as a company has changed the perception of what local brands should be, right? And we've taken small local brands who started off, with 2 sisters who are doing, a few thousand sales a month. Today at Fashion Valet, they do a few 100,000 every month. So we're in the business of building local brands, and we want these local brands to last. So and when we see that kind of impact, we feel like there are so many people that rely on us, not just our employees, but these businesses who are sometimes sole proprietors. They are individual entrepreneurs, and they rely so much on Fashion Valet. So there's no way we can give up, because if we do give up, we basically break the bank for not just us, but also for all these other brands that are under us and that are dependent on us. So giving up right now is just not an option at all.
Having said that, I mean, it's extremely difficult to be positive all the time. You will definitely have challenges, and you'll definitely have days where you're like, oh my God, why did I do this? It'd be so easy. It'd be so easy if I just work somewhere and not worry about all these things. I think we've gone through so much of that. Like for Fashion Valet e-commerce, the challenge is definitely competition. So when we started off, we were the only one. And it was very comfortable, we were in our comfort zone, we were happy. And then suddenly, 2 years down the road, companies like Zalora, Lazada, Rakuten, they all started coming, and we're like, oh my God. And they were coming to our brands and saying, come with us, we'll give you a better deal, better this, better that. So then we're like, oh my God, then that's it, we're gone, Fashion Valet's gone. And this was 2012, and I remember sitting with Fadza and we're like, what do we do, what do we do? And I think having a partner who motivates each other, that's why entrepreneurship is very lonely. So if you have partners or someone you talk to, your family, to always motivate you, will be great. But most importantly, you need to motivate yourself. Like if you yourself are the type that easily gives up, you can't be an entrepreneur, because there are just so many challenges ahead. There was one Brunei, the contestant in AirAsia, he's very young, and then he said, it's so challenging to start a brand, I'm gonna give up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you think once you start a brand, all the challenges stop? Clearly you need to work on yourself to be able to motivate yourself before you can go on this journey, because it's very difficult, and big companies will come and take your ideas and want to do what you do. So it's going to be a tough road, and you have to be prepared mentally. So for us, we made a lot of mistakes. Like when those big companies started opening shop and doing exactly what we did, and bigger and better, we're like, okay, so we have to do what they do. So we spent a lot of our money on what do you call it, social media, Google ads, online marketing, exactly what they did, and then they have like 1,000 brands. So we started signing on all these random brands that nobody's heard of. And we saw our sales dropping. Because then we're like, what are you guys standing for? Like, where is your identity? You're about local brands and you are curated. Now suddenly, anyone can be a fashion valet. So I think staying true to your identity and focusing on what you're good at and trying to be different and not copying your competitors is very important.
Vivy and Fadza, I've been asked to close this out by 11:15, so we want to leave you now with some take-home words of wisdom. So before we say goodbye, just have a little talk to our room and leave them with 3, real hard-hitting pieces of advice. And bear in mind that we do have a room of some very accomplished business people. They're quite under the radar. They work very hard. They keep on going, and there's a lot of magic as well in this room in terms of some of the little businesses and our blogs and our personalities. We have quite a magical group here. So what can you leave them with today? Information, advice.
I have one, two very, my kind of life principles that I think keep me sane. Number one is to know that rezeki is from above, and if it's not meant for you, you gotta move on, and not dwell over it, not hit yourself over it, and there's something better for you. So I don't worry about if a competitor got this deal or whatever. I still need to do my thing and know that there's something else for me. So always believe in God. And number two, oh my God, I forgot number 2. So don't be afraid of criticism. A lot of us, we thrive on praises and you're good, you're this, you're that, and don't ever let it get to your head. I think Fadza inspires me in a lot of ways because he's very, very humble. He knows what he doesn't say, he never shows off. And I think that's very important because you need to be a leader who is grounded And I like to ask a lot of questions. I like to be criticized because that's the only way you can find out what's wrong with you and which areas are wrong so you can improve. So don't shy away from criticism. Don't ask your mom or your best friends, about your ideas because they're gonna say it's awesome. You gotta ask people who don't like you, who criticize you, ask on social media and get bashed, it's fine. But some things they say could be true and could help you a lot and find loopholes in your ideas. So don't be afraid of criticism.
So what I would say is, what Vivy and I do is not rocket science and it's not magic, right? It's just a lot of hard work and a lot of trials and tribulations to go through. And I think, the reason we are where we are is because we just kept pushing through. We set our targets and we managed to, we were lucky in a few situations, but I think at the end of the day, it's just about hard work and constantly trying to improve your business and your product and trying to make your customer happy. I think if you just focus on trying to get those customers to come back to you, I think you'll find that you have a great business, because people say that when you make sales, when you have customers, you make sales, right? But when you have returning customers, then you're building a business. And then the second thing I would say is, just to echo what Vivy said, is stay humble, because I think when there's a lot of hype in the news about how this company managed to raise X million dollars, and then they're talking about it to everyone, and that's like their tagline. But we always remind ourselves that no matter how big we become, there's always somebody better than us, and there's always somebody richer than us, and there's somebody that's done better things than us, and we don't know that that person could be this person that's sitting right next to us, right? And here we are bragging about it. And it's just important to stay humble and just work as hard as you possibly can, and do what you think is right to do. Stay true to your principles, and just have that self-motivation and keep persevering, because no matter how hard things get, it's the most challenging times that really build you up as a person, and find comfort in being in uncomfortable positions.
He's good, Vivy.
Very
That
bad.
was deep. You have brothers, I think they want them too. So ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I think we have a lot of information, stories to go home with. What we have here at the end of the day is two not that extraordinary individuals. Yes, pretty and cute, but at the end of the day, you don't have to be pretty cute to have perseverance and to work super hard. And it boils down to these pure, simple work ethics, and also have a great idea that will also help. Jackie, did you have something you wanted to say? Jackie has a final thing to say before we close out, Jackie?
Hi, I'm Jackie. I run Baju, which is a boutique and tailoring place in Brunei. You mentioned earlier that you would like more local brands in Fashion Valet, local being Brunei brands in Fashion Valet. I have a team of 10 tailors, and we do a small brand of our own in Baju, but we have issues with production, like we don't have enough people to do with production, because I would imagine earlier on Fadza was saying that you would like the stocks to be in your warehouse. So in order for stocks to be in warehouse, you're going to need quantity, which I'm sure there's a minimum amount of quantity that you would need in a warehouse. Now, would Fashion Valet be able to sort of link Bruneian brands to sort of a factory in Malaysia that would be able to produce, because we don't have factories in Brunei. We don't have enough tailors, we don't have enough sort of manpower to be doing those things.
I think definitely we can. Being in business for 7 years, we've made a lot of contacts, so we know a lot of factories that can benefit you. This is exactly what we want to do. Like, we don't want to sell things. We want to help grow your brand. And at Fashion Valet, we do a lot of value-added services. We even give you like analysis of data, where your customers are coming from. A lot of brands are surprised. Oh, actually, not Malaysians are buying my products, Singaporeans are. So we give those kind of value-added data to help you kind of pivot your brand and build your brand. So yes, you can ask me later. I can give you.
Thanks.
That's a real practical note to end on. How do we get that business? How do we get this close made? Jackie, you're more than happy to entertain any private questions after this for sure. They do have to jet off today to another part of the world. So on behalf of BIBD and the support of DARE, thank you so much to Vivy Yusof and Fadza Anuar for joining us today. Great stories, and we will definitely remember you going for a very long time. Thank you so much. And to all of you, thank you very much for joining us. Vivy and Fadza will be around a little bit. Don't overdo the selfies because that's annoying. Right? Thank you all so much.